So yes, we are going to start with our concept of contract of indemnity. The contract of indemnity. Now, first we will understand the section number 124. First thing I would like to say, the indemnity contract has only two sections, section 124, section 125. It's a small and a very easy topic to cover. Not to worry, it's a very free and like you can say examples are more, you can understand happily. Okay, now let's understand with the concept. Yes, here we have the contract of indemnity, and in this contract of indemnity, we are going to understand that how there is a contract of indemnity and what is the different examples, what are the different modes, and what are the different parties involved in section 124, right? Okay. Now, going ahead, I would like to say a small example. First thing is every particular person nowadays is going to take an insurance. Okay. So you people know what is insurance? Insurance means a company who is going to make the assurance that whatever there is any loss which has occurred or any accident which has occurred, they will make sure they compensate that loss, right? In the same way, we have a very important line. What is it? Make good the loss. This is the main sentence or a main phrase for this particular topic, that is indemnity. Okay. How do you make good the loss and how does it happen? First thing, you need to understand this concept or this phrase. There are two parties or there are two persons which will be involved for this particular contract. To make this contract successful, there should be two people or the two parties which are involved. One is the indemnifier, another is the indemnity holder. Okay. Now let me make you understand that what is indemnifier and what is indemnity holder. Two parties involved in the contract of indemnity. Now, we will understand this with a small example. How does it go ahead? Now, this example we have is this one is Mr. C, or you can say customer. Mr. Customer. And this particular person is insurance agent. Mr. Insurance Agent, or you can say insurance company, from insurance company. Okay. So now you have bought an house. Okay. You have bought an house. You means here is the customer. When you buy this particular house, to make sure the house is properly assured, and if there is any issues with the house or if there is any natural calamity like fire, like volcano, or like anything which happens to this particular house, you have thought to make a small agreement with the insurance company regarding the condition called fire insurance. So you did an agreement with this particular person here, and this particular person or the insurance company is assuring you that if there is any fire to your house and your house is burnt or is having any issues related to fire accidentally, then the insurance company will make sure that they will save you from that particular loss, or you can say they will make good the loss. So you're able to understand now the particular sentence which we read just now says, make good the loss. What does this speak? It speaks that this particular customer, if there is any fire to his house, that is, one situation has come and the customer is very much worried because his house on fire. When the house is on fire, he was worried. But just because he had done an agreement with the insurance company, talking to this particular person, telling him that if there is any problem, any accident caused due to the fire to my house, then the insurance company is going to compensate. So, for some minutes, this customer got worried. He was worried that so big house, I had spent a lot of money on it to make it good, to make it lively, to make it stay good, to feel good, and so. But after some time, he got to realize that he had done an agreement with the insurance company, talking to the insurance agent, right? So here it is saying that the insurance company is saying that, sir, please don't worry. We are there to protect you always. How? Because you have done an insurance, fire insurance from our company, and you are paying the consideration. That means you are paying a premium towards this particular insurance annually. Means customer is going to pay some premium. This premium is being paid annually or semi-annually. And why is it paid? Obviously, when you do an insurance company will obviously ask you to give you a proper little bit amount, so that when there is any issues or when there is any accident which is causing you damage, it will make sure that through your premium it will compensate later. Okay, so I hope you got a clarity that the insurance company is giving you an safeguard. Insurance company is saying that we are here to help you save the loss or make good the loss. That means it is saying you that, sir, don't worry, we are here to bring back to your situation, to give you the amount whatever has been uh, made bad due to the fire. I hope you got a clarity. So here, what is insurance company? Insurance company is an other party, right? It is an outside party. So there are two people involved. One is the customer, one is the insurance company. Tell me now, or think once, that who is the indemnity holder and who is the indemnifier. I would like to know from you people. Think once and then I'll get back to it. Okay, now customer is the indemnity holder and insurance company is the indemnifier. indemnifier. So what does it speak about? Two parties are there. Two parties are coming into an agreement, and that contract or that agreement is an indemnity contract. Got it? So here you can say this agreement is called a contract. This contract is known as indemnity, contract of indemnity, where there is indemnity holder as the customer, indemnifier as the insurance company. Okay, where indemnity holder means the person who has given the premium or who has done an agreement with the insurance company or the other party. The other party here is the indemnifier, which is saving you from damage or making good the loss. Okay, so let's understand now once about the concept. Just so here it says about the indemnity means. What does indemnity mean? Indemnity means to compensate or to protect somebody from the loss or make good to the loss. When one person promises to another person that in case another person suffers from some loss, the first person will compensate the loss. So this is a definition or the exact meaning of our indemnity. Okay, so what it says, let's read once. Indemnity means compensate or protect somebody from the loss or make good the loss. In this situation, what has happened? It is protected you or the customer from the loss, or it has made good the loss by compensation. Okay, yeah, let's go down. When one person promises to another person that in case another person, here one person means insurance company, another person means customer, as per our example. Okay, another person, that is Mr. Customer, that in case another person, that is customer, suffers from loss. Here loss is house on fire. Then the first person is insurance company, will compensate the loss. Compensate the loss. Compensate here means do good the loss. I hope you got a clarity on what is the meaning of indemnity and how you are connecting with an example. Okay. Now let's understand in one way that just now you got to understand this particular example of insurance company. Now in the same way, I would like to say that this particular example was in favor of other company, okay, other party. Now we will understand another example which says you about promiser promising another person to save from the losses. Okay, here this is second situation. What does this situation speak about? This situation speaks about a place where it is saying one person. That means the promiser. This is a promiser. One person here also speaks about the promiser. And another person is you. Okay. So the promiser is saving you from the losses. With an example, let's understand. So example here is you have, this is you, this is Mrs. You, and this one is parking in charge. What is this example? This example is about the second situation. Here what has happened is you have gone to a mall. This is a mall. This is a mall, and you've gone to the mall to enjoy. When you go to the mall, what happens is you have taken your cycle. You have taken the cycle to the mall, and this cycle you have kept inside the parking lot. When you keep your vehicle or cycle or car or motor bike, anything, you keep it in the parking lot of the mall, you need to, what you need to do is you need to pay the parking fees. So first thing you do is you pay the parking fees. And second is you get a receipt of parking. Yes. So after some time, after you have seen the movie, you are back to the parking lot. You're back to the parking lot, and here what happens is you have forgotten your parking receipt. Somewhere you forgot the parking receipt, or the parking receipt has slipped from your pocket. Here you say me the parking in charge will give you your cycle or not. The parking in charge will say, get your receipt, then take your vehicle. Yes, because the parking in charge is having that responsibility, that duty, that he cannot give any vehicle without the receipt. Fine. Now, within this time, what has happened is you are trying to convince the in charge that here I have kept my vehicle. This is my vehicle. Please allow me to take the vehicle home. The in charge is saying, show me the related documents of the vehicle. And you say, I'm sorry, sir, I do not have any documents with me available now. And you start convincing the parking in charge to allow you to take the vehicle from the parking lot and take it home. In this duration, there is Mr. X who comes to the parking lot and says, this vehicle of blue color is mine. And that time the parking in charge gets confused. He says that Mrs. U is saying that it is her vehicle, and Mr. X is also saying it is his vehicle. Then what should I do? How do I deal with it? Now, because you know that you and your heart knows that this vehicle is yours. This vehicle is Mrs. U. So you say the parking in charge that I will compensate the loss made due to the forgetting or slip of the receipt. So here you can say that there has come with a agreement between the parking in charge and you. This agreement is called contract of indemnity. Getting it, boys and girls? So this indemnity contract says that if there is any loss which has occurred, I will compensate the loss and make it good. So here, this Mr. U is the promisor and parking HR is the promisee. If you see the second situation, it is saying about a person giving you the promise and safeguarding you from the damage or the loss. Okay, got it? I hope you understood the second situation also. Okay, now let's understand from our material. So we are reading indemnity contract and we just understood the contract of indemnity 124. Here you see that here it is saying that it is a contract, and this contract means the security against the loss, or it says about making good the loss, making good the loss or compensate the party who suffered from some loss. We also understood that this is covered in section 124 of Indian Contract Act 1872. The before sections of this, like before sections of 124, like before 124 which we had, that was deleted from our Indian Contract Act. As I said you, it was covered in the other portion, that is Sale of Goods Act. Next, so in definition, you understand a contract by which one party promises to save the other from the loss caused by him by the conduct of promiser himself or the conduct of any other party. Now, the first situation we understood was the about the insurance company, right? And the second situation we understood about the parking lot and Mrs. U. Got it? Here, the indemnity means to compensate or make good the loss. Under the contract of indemnity, existence of loss is essential. If there is no loss, then this particular contract will not exist. Unless the promisee has suffered a loss, he cannot hold the promisor liable on the contract of indemnity. See, here in this situation, which you see, this parking in charge is facing a loss. How? See, as he said that if you do not, he said, promise, the parking in charge told the Mrs. U that if you do not pay the parking receipt or if you do not give the parking receipt, then I cannot allow you to go ahead. Now, the parking in charge said this, and Mrs. U said, "Sir, I am going to compensate the loss. Please allow me to take my vehicle." So, to make sure that the promisee is not going to have face any issues later or not going to have any damage, then the Mrs. U is saying that she will compensate the loss due to the damage which has happened of forgetting the receipt, or due to the damage which has happened to the parking in charge, for because he is liable to show that receipt to his authorities. Got it? So this is how we understood the contract of indemnity. Here you see, hence, one small thing which we have to understand is what are the different ways where the indemnity contract are not covered. This is a point to be understood. A loss occasioned means occurred by the conduct of the promisee or accident or any act of God or in natural event, then the contract of indemnity will not be allowed. Got it? Yes. So, this particular situation of section 124 explains you what? It explains you that there is a contract of indemnity occurred where when one party wishes or promises to save the other party from the loss caused by him by the conduct of the promiser himself or by the conduct of any other party, right? Okay, so let's understand the two different parties involved. One is the indemnifier and next is the indemnity holder. So indemnifier is the party or the person who promises to indemnify. Okay, here we saw this situation, the situation here you saw is who is indemnifier, who is indemnity holder. You saw this? Yeah. And indemnity holder is a party or the person who is promised to be saved against the loss occurred. Fine. Okay. So one more thing we have to understand are indemnity. The contract of indemnity can be of two ways. It can be express, it can be implied indemnity. What does express, what does imply mean? It means that you have expressed a particular situation and there the contract of indemnity exists. Implied means the situation is indirectly speaking that there is indemnity contract existing. Okay, fine. So example of in express indemnity is, you can say, the insurance company assuring you about any loss come and they can compensate or they can make good the loss, is express indemnity, which they are expressing through a valid statement or a contract, through a valid agreement. And what is implied or implication? It says that it infers from the situations or the cases. Okay. So, for example, you are going out and you have told your neighbor that if anyone comes, then I'm giving you my key. From my house, if anyone has come from out, please give them the key and they can open up the house. And here it is implied that the key has to be taken care by the neighbor. If there comes that the neighbor is losing the key, then the neighbor has to make sure that he is making the indemnity and there is making good the loss. Fine. Okay. So, what are the different valid essentials of the valid contract? How does a contract be? The contract can be only accepted only when you have some defined essentials or the related features should be there for making the contract valid. The first one is there should be a proper offer, and there should be proper acceptance. Offer and acceptance must be there from both the sides. Next comes intention to create legal obligations. Whatever the situation it is, it should be properly intimated and it should be legally done. There should be a proper consideration between each party to another party. Then the competency of contract must be done. Then comes there should be a free consent between both the parties. There should be lawful object. And then the agreement must not be expressly declared to be void. Where it is saying, what is the example? It says an agreement in a restraint of trade or marriage. The terms of agreement must not be vague or uncertain. Means it should be properly defined. Okay. Next, the agreement must be capable of performance. Means it is saying an agreement to do an impossible act is void. Like it should be related to a proper situation and that situation should be not impossible. Okay. Next comes the legal formalities according to the rules, according to the law, according to the act, it should be done, right? So this may be a question for you to be asked in exam. What are the different essentials for a valid contract? You see the keywords are underlined. It will be easy for you to understand. Let's go ahead and understand 1-2 examples. You see already examples I have given. Let's understand these examples also. So one first example, it says Mr. X contracts the government to return to India after completing his studies. So you have Mr. X, and this is the government of India. Okay. At Cambridge, you have done the studies in Cambridge University, and you are serving the government. You have served the government for a period of 5 years. You have told the government that I am going to like do the service to the government for 5 years. 5 years after completing my studies. Okay, but what has happened is when you have stated that you will do service to the government, but you have not done in this process, then what has happened is, first thing is, if Mr. X fails to return to India, he has failed to return. He is saying, no, I don't want to return now. I am liking the Cambridge University. I am liking the country, outside country where I'm studying. I don't want to return. So what happens is Mr. X fails to return to India, and he will have to reimburse the government. Why he has to reimburse? He has to compensate. Why? Because he has done a contract. This contract is indemnity contract, which says that when a promiser is promising to do something to the promisee, then if he doesn't do, he had to ensure that he has to compensate and make good the loss. Hence, here occurs the contract of indemnity. Okay. Second example, you have here the second example says about A may contract to indemnify B against the consequences of any proceedings which C may take against B in respect of sum of rupees 5,000 advanced by C to B. Means A may contract to indemnify against the consequences of any proceedings which C may take against B. C may take against B. Okay. Here, in consequence, when B, who is called upon to pay the sum, C has given an amount to B. Okay, fine. What is the amount? Rupees 5,000 advance. In consequence, when B, who is called upon to pay the sum of money to C, fails to do so, C would be able to recover the money from A. See, one more point. Here, C has given an advance to B. Okay, C has given advance to B. But in this situation, there comes another person. This person is A. A has seen this situation, and A has told that C can give advance to B on a condition that B has to give back the particular amount after some period. But if B doesn't give the money to C within the particular time, then A will give money to C. Here also comes the section 124, which says indemnity. That means one party is making good the loss, or one party is ensuring that the other party is away from the damage which has caused. Got it? Yeah, fine. Next we have is is example 3. Here, this example says about a shareholder, Mr. X, a shareholder of a company. Okay, you know what is shareholder? When, first of all, this is a Reliance company. Okay, this is Reliance company of Ambani's, right? You people must have known it is an Ambani's Reliance company, and you are have bought a share of Reliance Geo. Geo. That means in end you become a shareholder. Yes or no? So when you become a shareholder, when you become a shareholder, what happens now? You get a share certificate. You get a share certificate. On the shares you have bought. Now let's understand the situation. A shareholder of a company lost his share certificate. He has lost his share certificate. He applied for the duplicate share certificate. Like Mr. X has lost. Mr. X, this is Mr. X, has lost the share certificate. Lost the share certificate. Then he has asked for a duplication of the certificate. The company, here it is Reliance Jio, agreed to issue the same on the terms that X will compensate the company against the loss. Where any holder produces the original certificate, here there is a contract of indemnity between the X and the company. X is you and the company is Reliance. Okay, what it is saying? It is saying that it will give you the duplicate certificate only when X have to compensate on it by providing the original certificate. Where any holder produces the original certificate, the compensate the company against the loss. Where any holder produces the original certificate, then only Reliance will give you the duplicate certificate. So here comes the section 124. Fine. Yeah. Let's go to the last example we have. This example speaks about, this example speaks about also the indemnity condition. Let's see. X may agree to indemnify Y for any loss or damage that may occur if a tree on Y's neighboring property blows over. Means what has happened is X is there, Y is there, Mr. X, Mr. Y. Okay, they have done a contract of indemnity. In this indemnity contract, what has said is X may agree to indemnify for any loss or the damage that may occur. X is saying that he will make good the loss. That means, boys and girls, this is indemnity fire, and Y is indemnity holder. So it says that if a tree on Y's neighboring blows over, if a tree X's campus tree is there, that tree has become big and that tree is falling over Y's neighboring property. If the tree blows over and damages Y's fences, fence means campus or area of his house belt, and where you have other plants or you have parking area, that's the total area or the campus of the particular house, then X will be liable on the cost of fixing the fence. See, fence means it will be like this, like protection against anyone coming to your house. Okay, so it is saying that if this tree this tree falls over this fence, then the X has to compensate or make good the loss. So in this situation, don't you think it is indemnity which is coming? Okay. So it is called, it is implied that there is an indemnifier and there is an indemnity holder. That's why there is section 124 applied. Fine. Okay. Let's go ahead and understand anything else left in section 124. 124. Yes. See, there is one relevant question. What does this relevant question speaks about? This relevant question is being there in study mat. So here what is the situation? S ask Mr. asks R to beat T. Okay. S is asking R to beat T, beat. Okay, fine. And promises to indemnify R. And promises to indemnify R means here only there is contract of indemnity. Okay, fine. Let's see. Against the consequences, R beats to T and is fined rupees 50,000. Can R claim rupees 50,000 from S? Come on. You people can only answer this question. Can R claim 50,000 from S? Yes or no? Here in this situation, yes. So in this situation, what has happened? Do you think this is a contract of indemnity? Here in this question, it is saying that S has has promised to indemnify R, that if there is any issues or any consequences, then S will make sure he will look after it. But one very important point to be noted. What is the point? First thing here, the point is the S is saying to beat T. Okay. Do you think that this is a feasible contract? Do you think it is a valid contract? As just above, we understood that if there is unlawful agreement or situation, then the contract is void or invalid. Hence, What are the different essentials of a valid contract? We just read. Let me go ahead so that you, yes, this one. There should be proper offer and acceptance, intention to create legal obligation. You see, lawful object. Do you think beating is a lawful object? No, it is against the rules or law. Hence, S cannot do this particular contract, and hence it is not a. So, answer is it is not a contract of indemnity. It is not a contract of indemnity. And you have to give reasons for an essential valid contract. That's how you need to write. Okay. See here, next example also says one small thing about an unlawful agreement. Give an example which explains about a unlawful agreement. Okay. What? Same thing. Mr. A asked to beat Mr. C, promising to indemnify against the consequences. The promise of A cannot be enforced. Suppose B beats C and is fined rupees 1,000. B cannot claim the amount from A because the object of the agreement is unlawful. Okay, so this is a simple question, but many people do not know the answer. Okay, a contract of fire insurance or marine insurance is always a contract of indemnity. No contract of indemnity exists in case of life insurance. Okay, you see, question MCQ can be asked here telling that which is the contract of indemnity? Which contract of indemnity is feasible? Question can be like this. Also, it can also say that in case of which contract of in dash insurance indemnity does not exist. You have to write life insurance, the indemnity contract does not exist. Fine. Okay. So till now what we understood is about the contract of indemnity. In the contract of indemnity, we understood the section 124. In section 124, we understood who is making good the loss, who is the promiser, who is the indemnifier, who is the indemnity holder, and how the contract of indemnity can be done. In short, we understood this particular thing, that is saying about indemnity means to compensate or protect somebody from the loss or make good the loss. When one person promises to another person that in case another person suffers some loss, then the first person will compensate or do good the loss, right? So we understood two situations. The first one is about another party, and the other situation we read about the promiser himself, right? That's about the contract of indemnity, and that's about the section 124. So we are done with the section 124. Cheers to you people. We did one section happily in a very nice and a smooth way, completed all the examples, related questions also done. So just make sure that you read it after the class so that you get a clarity on it. The next lecture will go with the next section, that is section number 124. Okay. So take care. Bye. Stay tuned. enjoy life. Signing off, yours, Vikita. Bye.